Got a little setup here at the championship drags. Freddie, where are you out of?
Waterbury, Connecticut, Eastern Cycle Performance.
And why do the races want
to? What was at one time a serious sport for me became a business. We're developing, we're building race motors for customers and things like that. I've henceforth pretty much stopped grass racing because our activity in motorcycle racing and ice racing in the wintertime with the snowmobiles has grown in a big way, and our shop is extremely busy building race motors and these very trick custom.
So a racer can come to you and try to make their sled go faster.
Oh, absolutely. We're basically, we're right in the middle of things such as your AN performances and your PSIs. Supporting job. We can build a whole package for a customer. We can put him together the motor, the chassis, and send him out and win races, period. You know, basically what I'm saying is your one-stop shop performance.
Well, that's great. And thank you very much, Freddie.
Okay, thank you.
A little bit late over here, but we're going to get caught up. And that was number 260. First heat of the day. Fan A class, 0 to 295 cc's, 2 entries.
Cabinet 260 was first place.
And your winner, number 260, Jim Smedley, out of Broomall, Pennsylvania on a Yamaha. Your first winner today. Won't be much wasted time. Here they come. And there they go. Tom Clayton out of Torrington, Connecticut on a Skidoo. Ready to go. And this is your winner from Fan D, 400 to 440 cc's. And your winner, number 16, Chip Coles out of Plymouth, Connecticut on a Scorpion. On a Scorpion. And in third place, Scott Gracie out of Plymouth, Connecticut on a Scorpion. 3 Scorpions, first, second, and third finish.
We're here with Rob Bystrack. Rob, where are you from?
North Branford, Connecticut.
What class are you running in?
E-Class, which is fan stock 485cc.
Can you tell us a little bit about the machine you've got here?
Well, basically it's last year's model, 89 phaser. It's all stock. Just come up here and just figure we don't get any snow, might as well race it on the grass.
You got any tricks to tell us about how you're going to win the race today?
No, basically I just did a little improving on the clutch, the suspension, I adjusted it up a little bit. That's about it. I'm pretty much stock.
This is for the championship run. Finally, there they come. And your first place winner, number 112, Ray Hall out of Highland Falls, New York on a Yamaha. Second place, Bob Pinto, number 11 out of Prospect, Connecticut on a Mercury. And in third place, 210, Scott Caproni out of Southington, Connecticut on a Trail Twister.
We're here with Rich Petrecki from Albany, New York, representing Team Orange. Rich, what size motor do you run on this thing?
It's a 440 Kohler. It's got 36-inch Mikuni carburetors on it.
What is this? An earlier model?
It's a 1975 SS Boleski.
What class do you run?
I run fan class, and I jump up in free air and sometimes liquid class.
I know you've been racing for quite a few years. How long exactly?
About 6 years now with this sled.
I see. With the same sled, huh?
With the same sled, yes.
Well, geez, that's great. Have you done any tricks to try to come off with the finale here for the year?
Yeah, I bumped the engagement up and I made some minor adjustments, but I've been running real good, real strong all year.
And they're warming them up on the line. They should be coming up any minute now. Any second. We ain't wasting no time here today. The final run. Here we go. And here they come, right off the line. What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be the Berg? And your first place winner, 112, Ray Hall out of Highland Falls, New York, on a Yamaha. Just edged out the Mercury. And your second place winner, number 11, Bob Pinto out of Prospect, Connecticut on a Yamaha. First and second place coming back. One run for the money in his hand. Free air, B, 41, 37, and 125. One just went up the track. Colin Lawrence, Albert Exley, and Peter Caprone. And your first place winner, 37, Albert Exley, out of Plainfield, Connecticut, out of Skidoo.
We're here with Albert Exley. Albert comes from?
Plainfield, Connecticut.
Plainfield, Connecticut, down here to Terryville to the championship series. I understand you're running a machine with some flames on it. What's that going to do for your race?
It ran good last week, and I've taken a couple seconds and a couple firsts this year, so I'm got a good chance of hanging in there and winning it today.
What kind of machine do you run?
It's a 340 Skidoo RV, a 76. It's one of the old timers in the bunch.
You've been around for a couple of years. Is that the same sled you've been running?
No, it's the second sled I've been running. I had another sled I was running the past 4 years, and trying to move up into the bigger classes as time goes on. I'm looking to buy a bigger one this year.
How many classes can you run that in?
I'll probably run 3 classes today.
Which 3?
340 free air, 400 free air, and 340 liquid stock.
How do you think you're going to do?
It's going to be pretty close. I think I got a good chance of winning it.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And your first place winner, number 37, Albert Exley out of Plainfield, Connecticut on a Skidoo. Second place, 733, Ernie Leclerc Jr. out of Thomaston, Connecticut on a Scorpion. Third place, 313, Len Delvey out of Milford, Connecticut on a Mercury. Final run. Number 421, number 23, number 11, 39, 50X, and 828, and here they come.
First place was 11, second place was 421, third place was 828.
And your first place winner, number 11, Bob Pinto, out of Prospect, Connecticut on a Mercury. Second place, 421, Charles Bierce, Winston, Connecticut on a Snowjet. Third place, A28, Roger Fontaine out of Auburn, New Hampshire on a Polaris.
We're here with Bob Pinto. Bob's been racing quite a few years from Prospect, Connecticut. Bob, how many sleds you got running today?
2.
And what are you running?
Fan stock and free air stock, liquid stock.
Are these, you say stock, that means you haven't done anything to these sleds?
Other than the improvements you can make through the legalities to the rule.
And do you change each, are these machines identical, or have you got slight changes in them?
Well, this one here is a fan cooled. That one there is a free air cooled. And the fan cool we run in the fan classes. The free air we run in the free air classes, and we move it into the liquid in the mod class.
I know we've seen your name quite a few times in Snow Week. How many years have you been racing?
I think we're going on 13 this year.
13?
Old man, I'm ready for the convalescent home.
Listen, the track's kind of muddy today. What's that going to do to your fan stock?
Probably get us all dirty. Well, we got a lot of studs in it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Sometimes the mud helps you. So.
Good luck.
Thank you. Take care.
There we go, they got it started. A final run, a free air reopen. They're on the line, warming them up. Here we go. And there they come. And your first place winner, number 11, Bob Pinto. And your second place winner, number 39, Mark Wrightston. And third place winner, number 7, Ray Villier out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Yamaha. Okay, moving on here. The liquid stock A. 0 to 340 cc's. We have 3 entries, 1 run for the money. 1 run for the money here. 3 machines, liquid stock A. 88, Ray Segredo, Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. 37, Albert Exley out of Plainfield, Connecticut on a Skidoo. 125, Peter Capiana on a Polaris. 1 run for the money here. Liquid stock A, 3 machines. 1 run for the money. And here they come.
First place was 88, second place was 37, third place was 125.
And in order of finish, number 88, Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. 37, Robert Exley out of Plainfield, Connecticut on a Skidoo. 125, Ray Campiani on a Polaris.
7 and 14.
Okay, coming up, final run, liquid stock B, 341 of 440 cc's, 6 machines on the line. Number 56, Richard Vontel, out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Yamaha. 11, Bob Pinto, Prospect, Connecticut on a Mercury. Number 80, Steve Petrecka out of Naugatuck, Connecticut on a Yamaha. 82, Mike Roy, Terryville, Connecticut on a Polaris. Number 7, Eddie Verrill out of Auburn, Maine on a Skidoo. Number 14, Pierre Pelletier, the Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol. Yeah. And there they go.
First place was 07, second place was 11, third place was 14.
And your first place finisher, number 7, Eddie Verrill. Second place finisher, number 11, Bob Pinto. Third place finisher, number 14, Pierre Pelletier, out of Bristol, Connecticut, of the Flying Frenchman team. Coming up, the final run. We have 6 sleds, number 106, 15, 85, 50, 14, and 07. Run for the money here, liquid stock C, 441 of 523 cc's. And number 106 is Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. Number 15, Michael Emerson out of Bellows Falls, Vermont on a Formula Plus. Number 85, David Kilmer out of Gardiner, Maine on an Arctic Cat. Number 50, Edwin Davis out of East Windsor, Connecticut on a Skidoo. Number 14, Pierre Pelletier, the Flying Frenchman on a Yamaha. And number 7, Eddie Verrill out of Auburn, Maine on a Skidoo. Final run, liquid stock C. Run for the money, 441 cc's to 523. And here they come. Look at this shit he drew up.
First place was 07.
And your winner, number 07, Eddie Verrill out of Auburn, Maine.
Third place was 106.
And your second place finisher, number 15, Michael Emerson out of Bellows Falls, Vermont. In third place, 106, Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. I can get a hold of Mark if I want. Mark's the first.
85, 14, 59, and 07.
Okay, coming up now, this is a final run, 6 machines for liquid stock D. Coming up on the line, number 15, Michael Emerson out of Bellows Falls, Vermont on a Formula Plus. Number 580, Roy Oliver out of Land and Sea out of Waterbury, Connecticut on a Skidoo. Number 85, David Kilmer out of Gardiner, Maine on an Arctic Cat. Number 14, Pierre Pelletier from the Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Yamaha. Number 59, Chip Robertson out of Conway, New Hampshire on a Skidoo. Number 07, Eddie Verrill Auburn, Maine on a Skidoo. Once again, 6 machines. Liquid Stock D final run. A run for the money. The championship run here in Liquid Stock D. Number 15, number 580, number 85, number 14, number 59, and number 07. And they're off. Here they come. There's the winning run right here. What's the number? Now winner of that last run, number 59, Chip Robertson out of Conway, New Hampshire on a Skidoo. Second place there was 07. Third place was 580.
Stand by, there's a mix-up.
Right over there. Six machine final, Liquid Stock E. 585 to 650 cc's. And here they come, a final run. This is not a run, that's not a run, a false start. That was a false start. We'll have to bring them back. That was not a run, that's a false start.
Can't stand there with the baby. Gotta get in the car. Motor vehicles will shut us down. Anybody under 16 is not supposed to be in the pit.
And here we go with that restart. We don't take time. They ain't taking no time today. I'd never be able to do this alone today. I'd have gone home a long time ago.
First place, 07. Second place, 3B. Third place, 2A. Fourth place, 15.
And your winner, number 07, Eddie Verrill, out of Auburn, Maine, on a Skidoo. Number 3B, Ray Segreto, out of Bristol, Connecticut, on a Polaris. Number 59, Chip Robertson, out of North Conway, New Hampshire, on a Skidoo. No, third place, excuse me, it was Brad Cofield out of Polaris. Third place. Okay, coming up, Liquid Stock A. Liquid Improved Stock A, 0 to 520 cc's. We have 3 entries. 1 run for the money here. On the line, 28, Pat Doyle, out of Bristol, Connecticut, on a Polaris. 07, Eddie Verrill, out of Auburn, Maine, on a Skidoo. 24X, Robert Bayer, out of Canton, Connecticut, on a Mercury. 1 run for the money here. 3 machines, 28, 07, and 24X. Liquid Improved Stock A, 0 to 520 cc's. And they're ready. Whoops, somebody jumped. Got to bring them back. And they're off.
First place, 07. Second place, 28. Third place, 24X.
And your first place winner, 07, Eddie Verrill, out of Auburn, Maine, on a Skidoo. Second place, 28, Pat Doyle, Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. Third place, 24X, Robert Bayer out of Canton, Connecticut on a Mercury. And they're ready. Here they go.
X has first. I gotta wait for the number for second.
37. First place in that last run, 77X. Second place, 54. Third place, 3A. 77X is Gene Urin out of Hudson, New York on a Polaris.
Stock C open 129, 59X scratch, 54 and number 1. 3 machines.
We have 3 machines, 1 run for the money. 129, and they're off. 54 and 1. Jesus Christ. And your winner of that last class. 54, number 1, and number 129. Coming up, 1 run for the money. Mod Stock A open. 5 entries, 1 run for the money. Number 31, 35, 125, 200X, and 261. Thomas Blythe, Stephen Corbeil, Pete Champion, Ed Young, and Jim Smedley.
Come on, Pete. Come on, Pete.
Thomas Blythe out of Pleasant Valley, New York. Steve Corbeil out of New Hampshire. Pete Champion out of Little Falls, New York. Ed Young out of Newington, Connecticut. And Jim Smedley out of Bromall, Pennsylvania. And here they come. 1 run for the money. Okay, your finish, order of finish on that last one, 200X, Ed Young, Newington, Connecticut. 31, Thomas Blythe out of Pleasant Valley, New York. 261, Jim Smedley out of Bromall, Pennsylvania. And 125, Pete Champion out of Little Falls, New York. That was 1 run for the money, Mod Stock A. Okay, your winner that last class was 150, Robert Onofrio out of Walker, Connecticut on a Yamaha. Second place was number 219, Bob Van Duzen out of Clifton, New York on an Arctic Cat. Third place was 77, Todd Stiles. I guess. Coming up, second leg. Mod Stock B, 4 machines on a line. 52, Gary LaFrancois on a Skidoo. 20, Ronnie Torello, East Haven, Connecticut on a Rupp. 94. Peter Duperry out of East Perry, New Hampshire, 79. Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire, 4 sleds. Second run, a Mod Stock B, 340 to 520 cc's. Four machines on the line, they're ready to go. Somebody jumped the line. Gotta bring them back. Somebody jumped. And your winner, number 1, 79, Jim George, out of Deerfield, New Hampshire on a moto ski. Second place, 20, Ronnie Torello, out of East Haven, Connecticut on a rup. Third place, 94, Peter Duperry, out of East Perry, New Hampshire, on a moto ski. Fourth place, 52, Gary LaFrancois, on a skidoo. Are they running now? This is the run for the money here in Mod Stock B. Not only will all these people be able to say, I won today, but they'll be able to go home and say, I'm the New England champion. And they're off. Here they come on the track. Looks like 79, but we gotta wait. '79 was your winner, that last one. Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire, your New England Championship. First place, 79. Second place, 150. Third place, 219. Fourth place, number 20. 79, Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire. 150, Robert Onofrio, second place. Third place, 219, Bob Van Duzen. Fourth place, number 20, Ronnie Torello out of East Haven, Connecticut. First heat of Mod Stock C coming up. 4 sleds, 12 entries. We're going to run 3 heats, a consi, and a final in this. Steve Corey, Robert Onofred, Tom Seawright, and Joseph Greenleaf. 87, 150, 10, and 952. And your first place winner, 87, Steve Corey. Second place, 952, Joseph Greenleaf. Third place, 10, Tom Seawright. Fourth place, 150, Robert Onofred. Second heat, Mod Stock C coming up. 4 more sleds, 129, Ed Charette, out of Farmington, Connecticut on a Yamaha. 207, Mark Carlson, out of Sutton, Mass, on a Mac 1. 77, Todd Stiles out of Windham, Maine on an SRX. 219, Bob Van Dusen, Clifton Park, New Jersey on an Arctic Cat. Second leg coming up, Mod Stock C. And they're on the line.
First place, 219. Second place, 77. Third place, 129.
Results of that last one. First place, 219, Bob Van Dusen. Second place, 77, Todd Stiles. Third place, 129, Ed Charette. Fourth place, 207, Mark Carlson. Coming up, the third run of Mod Stock C. 4 machines. On the line, 17, E. Scott Richard out of Peru, Mass. On a Skidoo. 54, NATO Brothers out of Kensington, Connecticut on an Exciter. 94, Peter Duperry, East Perry, New Hampshire on a motoski. 79, Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire on a motoski. Winner goes into the finals. And they're off. And your winner of the last run, number 79. 79, Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire. That was a race. That was a race, and 79, Jim George won it. And they're on the line. They're getting them cranked open now. Consi run. And Mod Stock C, 520 to 590 cc's. 952, Joseph Greenleaf. 77, Todd Stiles. 54, NATO Brothers out of Kensington, Connecticut. They got him cranked over. And they're waiting for the light. Here they go. $77 is your winner.
Wait a minute, you're walking all over each other. Come back with those results here.
$77 was your winner, that last one. Okay, the numbers in the final run. 79, 219, 77, 150. 79, we have Jim George out of Deerfield, New Hampshire. 219, we have Bob Van Dusen out of Clifton Park, New York. 77, we have Todd Stiles out of Windham, Maine. 150, we have Robert Onofred out of Woka, Connecticut on a Yamaha. Final run, Mod Stock C. 4 machines on a line. And they're cranking them over now. Okay, they're off for final run. And the results of that last one, your winner was 150, Robert Onifred. Second place, 79, Jim George. Third place, 219, Bob Van Duzen. Fourth place, 77, Todd Stiles. Mod 1, 2 entries, 1 run for the money. Mod 1, 0 to 295 cc's. We have number 96, Brian Butler out of Sheffield, Mass. On a Skidoo. 24B, Robert Berry out of Canton, Connecticut. On a Mercury. Mod 1 coming up, 2 entries. And they're on the line. Mod 1. We're getting into the mod show now. Got a big mod show here today. When we get up to mod 4, 5, and 6, got a lot of entries. Mod 1. 2 machines, 96 and 24B. 1 run for the money. And they're on the line, they're cranking them over, waiting for the starter signal. And they're off. And your winner, number 96. Brian Butler out of Sheffield, Mass. Brian Butler, number 96, your winner of Mod 1. They're on the line. Number 4, 35, 344, 261. 1 run for the money. Somebody's not lined up over there. 1 run for the money here. 4 machines. Mod 2. Free here. Gary Neal, Heath Putnam, Toby Cofield, and Jim Smedley. This is where the speed starts going up. Fastest speed hit here was a couple of years ago at 103 miles an hour. And they're off, Mod 2. And your winner, number 4, Gary Neal out of Claremont, New Hampshire, out of Polaris. On the line, 4 machines, 27, 96, 200X, and 29B. Tom Stevens, Brian Butler, Ed Young, and Warren Curtis. Mod 2. And they're ready. Waiting for the light. Somebody snuck up. Gotta bring them back. Todd Stevens out of Single Land, New York. Brian Butler's out of Sheffield, Mass. Ed Young's out of Newington, Connecticut. And Warren Curtis is out of Moosatonic, Massachusetts. And they're off. First place winner, 29B, Warren Curtis. Second place, 27, Tom Stevens. Third place, 96, Brian Butler. Fourth place, 200X, Ed Young. Mod 3 coming up, free year.
We're here with Scott Kilmer. Scott, where do you come from?
Millerton, New York.
Millerton, New York, and you've come all the way out here to Terryville, Connecticut to race in the New England Championship. What size sled do you run?
440 free air.
What kind of model for somebody who's
Merc Snow Twister.
What year is that sled?
75.
75. Have you raced on the circuit before?
Yes.
And how well did you do earlier this year?
I've been placing first a couple seconds.
Any tricks you can tell us about that you tried to do to try to win today that you can tell us?
I haven't changed much. I've been winning, so I haven't changed much. I'm going to leave it alone and just hope for the best.
It's a little cold today and the track looks a little muddy. You know, how's that going to affect your run?
It might slow us down a little today, but...
What about the fact that they're not doing time trials today? Does that affect you at all?
Not really. I run mine yesterday in practice, and it's running all right.
Good luck, Scott.
Thank you.
$143 has been scratched from this. He's moving up to Mod 3 regular. This is Mod 3 free air going off. One run for the money. 145, 423, and 11, Bob Pinto. And 145, Paul Bilodeau, 4, Gary Neal, 23, Scott Kilmer, and 11, Bob Pinto on the line for Mod 3 free air. One run for the money. And your winner, number 23, Scott Kilmer out of Milton, New York. Second place, 11, Bob Pinto. Third place, number 4, Gary Neal. Coming up, Mod 3, 340 to 440 cc's.
We're here with Skip VANDENBURG from Albany, New York. Skip rides in one of the big mod classes. Skip, what class do you run in?
From Mod 3 on up.
What type of machine do you run?
Homemade.
Homemade? What size motor is that?
440.
What kind of things do you do to your machine, did you do to your machine before coming here today?
Cleaned it, checked it out in the field, tuned it up.
How many years have you been racing?
15.
15 years. Who do we have here for Team Orange?
My daughter. She keeps tab on us two guys, you know, make sure we get here and, you know.
So you've got a woman behind the operation of Team Orange, huh?
Sure.
Okay, Skip, thanks a lot and good luck.
We have 3 names on the line, 4 on the line. We'll give you the 3. 232, Skip VANDENBURG out of Londonville, New York, on a homemade machine. 1416, John Clark, the Flying Frenchman team on a Skidoo. 29B, Warren Curtis out of Moosatonic, Massachusetts on a Skidoo. One run for the money here, I guess. 3 or 4, I don't know. And if that fourth machine's on here, it's 143. Ron St. Germain out of Roochdale, Massachusetts on a Skidoo. How'd you say that last name? John Clukey. Looks like your winners, 14-16, John Clukey out of the Flying Frenchman team out of Skidoo. That's the machine to watch.
We're here with John Clukey. John comes from Concord, New Hampshire, and was racing some of his own machines the last couple of years, but this year he seems to be driving for someone different. And who was that, John?
Driving for Even, Flying Frenchman.
And what kind of machine are you driving for him?
That's a 440 modified sled, and I race 4 or 5 classes with it, from 440 up to open mod with it.
I see. I understand you made quite an entrance today, and how did you get here to this track today?
We flew in a Jet Ranger helicopter. One of the guys we do some work for back home was able to get some time off of work this morning with him, and he said he'd fly us down today, so he brought us down in the helicopter and landed us here.
John was unfortunate enough to have crashed a couple weeks ago in Great Barrington. How did you come out of that crash after you crossed the finish line?
I was a little sore, but came out of it real well considering what happened.
What do you think made the crash happen?
You can't blame it on any one thing. I think it was a number of things that contributed to the crash. The grass was slippery at the other end, a little bumpy, and another sled kind of tapped me. So I think all 3 things were at a factor in the crash.
What happened to the sled?
Sled came out of it all right. The hood, was damaged, the tachometer, and a few other small things, but they had it fixed within the next couple days.
Tell me, John, do you run in the ice drags?
Yes, we run all winter long, starting the end of December, right through till March.
And will you go back to the Clukey machines then?
Yeah, we're building 2 new sleds for the winter, plus the other 2 we have, so we'll have a full house this winter.
Well, good luck today, John.
Thank you very much.
All righty.
Okay, coming up, Mod 4, 440 to 650 cc's, 14 entries. We're going to run 3, 3, 4, and 4 in the final. In the first heat, 3 machines. 15, Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. 36, Bob Delgney out of Greenwood Lake, New York on a Polaris. 952, Joe Greenleaf, Wheel Brothers Special. Don't say where he's from. On the first line, we got 15, 36, 952, Ray Segredo, Bob Delgney, and Joe Greenleaf. For one more. Waiting for one more to go. Getting up to these mod classes here, they got to be perfectly ready before they go. And there they go. And your first place winner of that heat, number 15, Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. Second was 36, Bob Delgney out of Greenwood Lake, New York on a Polaris. Third place, 952, Joe Greenleaf. In the second heat, 3 machines. 42, Pete Webster on a Centurion. 11X. Bob Van Duzen at Clifton Park, New York on a homemade machine. 232, Skip Vandenberg on a homemade machine out of New York. 3 machines, 42, 11X, and 232 coming up. Mod 4. Waiting for the starter signal. And they're off. And your winner that last one, 232, Skip Vandenberg, on a homemade machine. Second place, 42, Pete Webster. Third place, 11X, Bob Van Duzen.
We're here talking with Chad Oliver from Waterbury, Connecticut. Chad, you've got quite a fine-looking machine here. You want to tell us a little about it?
Well, it's a 650 Wildcat from Arctic Cat. It's not exactly a stock colors on it. It's Big Bob Goodrow did the color scheme. It's a mod stock snowmobile. That means it's stock appearing, but anything else goes. And it's pretty fast.
When you say 650, does that measure the size of the motor?
Yeah, it's CCs, 650 CCs.
And what kind of classes are you legal to run in?
Well, there's the mod stock D. It's an open class, and that's from 650 cc's and up. It's an unlimited class for cc's.
It seems the ground seems kind of half between a little hard and muddy.
Yeah,
what's it doing to your machine?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. We didn't even test it yet. There was no time trials, as you guys probably noticed, and we'll see what happens, you know?
Does it affect your skis at all on your steering the machine?
The drag on the grass is much greater with wet, and it definitely poses a factor to slow the sled down.
How long have you been racing?
Since I was about I don't know, 11 or 12. I'm 18 now.
How long have you been on the New England circuit?
Ever since I was 16, about 2 years when I was legal to.
Great. Well, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the third run, a Mod 4, 4 machines on a line. On the line, number 1416, John Kluke and a Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Sickadoo. 9X, Chad Oliver on an Arctic Cat. 72, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire, and they're off, and 1X. Still waiting for a number on the number 1 sled. Second was 1416. Third was 9X. Still waiting for a number on the first place. Second place was 1416. Third place was 9X. First place was 72 in that one. 72 was your first place winner. Let's hope he can get it running again for to be in the finals. He's in the finals if he get it going again. Four machines on a line. 1372, 829, 07, and 102. Mod 4, 441 to 650 cc's. Then we have Mod 5 open. And coming up, Mod 6 class coming up. There they go. Looks like your winner, number 1372, Dan Neeshern, out of Lakeport, New York. $13.72, your winner that last run. Okay, the final run of Mod 4. 4 machines. Should have on the line number 15, Ray Segredo out of Bristol, Connecticut, on a Polaris. Number 232, Skip Vandenberg, on a homemade machine. Number 172, Scott Copeland, out of Northwood, New Hampshire. Number 1372, Dan Neeshern. I'm putting him on the line now. I'm going to try to find out whether 72 got going again or not. He was the winner in his class, but he broke down on the finish line. Had to get towed back. Gonna look for him. Four machines on the line. Can't tell, so 72 must have got repaired. Let's hope so. He ran a good race this first in this time trial. All right, 72 is back into the race. They ran a good run the first one. Here they go. They got their hands up in the air and they're cranking them over. And they're getting set now. Bring the RPMs up to wherever they want them so the clutch can grab. And all they got to do is wait for the starting signal. And that green light comes on, they're all cranked up and ready to go. They're off. They're off.
First place, 1372. Second place, 72. Third place, 232.
What do we got? And your results. Number 1. 1372 was your first one. Don Neeshern out of Lakeport, New York. 72. Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire. 232. Skip Vandenberg out of Homemade Machine out of New York.
We're here talking with Joe Greenleaf. Joe comes from New Jersey to race in this championship race. Joe, you want to tell us a little bit about your machine?
Well, we sent it out to Wall Brothers Racing back in the summer, I guess, and we got it back just last week. We haven't had much time to test it, but it seems to run real well, and if anybody can make Skidoos run, these guys can. We're going to see what happens today. We got it running in 4 classes, and we'll run all the way up from mod stock into the open dragster classes, and we'll just hope it does good. So we'll just see what happens.
What type of motor does this thing have?
Well, it is a 580 Rave motor, basically set up for Formula 3 specs, and it's just been lightened, and it's just something the consumer can relate with, being it's a full-bodied type dragster.
What about the cooling system? What does this machine need to cool that engine down?
Well, basically what we have is just one radiator on it, just to save some weight, but what we do have is just a flush unit that just quick couples into the system, just to cool it down between races, just a flush system, just to pump some, cold antifreeze through it.
Are there models similar to this that is available to the consumer on the market?
Well, in stock form, yes, but like this, as far as I know, this is the first one going for the Mach 1, And like I said, hopefully we'll do good today, and we'll see what happens. But basically, it's got ice suspension in it, and it's really not set up for the grass, but we're going to try our best today.
You race this thing in the ice as well?
That is basically what it's built for. It's for the ice.
You use a different type of track for the grass?
Yes, they do. They usually use a series of wheels, and today we're using a slide suspension. And little more drag in the grass, but we're here to have some fun.
Well, good. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
952, Joseph Greenleaf. The Waller Brothers Special. 143, Ron St. Germain on a Skidoo. 42, Peter Webster on a Polaris. 11X, Bob Van Duzen out of Clifton Park, New York on a homemade machine. 4 machines to start. There they go.
You humming, huh?
First place was 11X. Second place was 143. Third place was 42.
And your winner, 11X, Bob Van Duzen. Second place was 143. Third place was 42, Peter Webster. Fourth place, 952, Joseph Greenleaf. Okay, here we go, the second run. Don't forget, this is the big one. Second run of the race. They're up there, their hands are up. Waiting for the hands to go down. They go down, watch the starter. And they gotta go. He was over here, yeah.
72. Second place was 1416. Third place was 232.
That was a close one. Your winner, 72, Scott Copeland. Second place, 1416, John Kluge. Third place, 232. Fourth place, 1X, Donnie Anderson. Looking at the starter. And they're gone. Just as soon as we find out who won it, we'll let you know. First place was 1372. It gets bigger and better every year. There's more mods being built. And our main intent behind all of this is to promote good snowmobiling. 1416, John Kluge of the Flying Frenchman team goes into the finals.
Second place was 143. Third place was 102.
Now we got our 4-machine final all set up.
1416.
1416 was your winner. Yeah, go ahead. This is the final run for the championship run of Mod 5. But remember, we have another class after this. On the line, number 11X, Bob Van Duzen out of Clifton Park, New York on a homemade machine. Number 72, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire on a Wall Audette. Number 1372, Dan Neeskern out of Lakeport, New York on a Risky Racer. And number 1416, John Kluge of the Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Skidoo. The winner will come back down the middle of the track because he is going to be the New England Mod 5 Open champion. He will be coming down in the middle of the track, and let's give them all a big hand when they come back because they deserve it. Anybody wants to sit on this thing, it's no picnic. Remember, we got one more class after this, the experimental class. And again, like I was saying before, it is our 15th year in racing here in Terryville, and we want to thank all of you, all of the racers, for making this a good success. and promoting snowmobiling. That was our original intent, to promote snowmobiling, good and safe snowmobiling. I don't know how good and safe you can be at 102 miles an hour. Okay, remember the winner of this race, this heat right here comes back down the middle of the track. Again, in this one is 11X Bob Van Dusen out of Clifton Park, New York on a homemade machine. 1416 John Clukey of the Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Skidoo. 72 Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire on a Wall Audette. 1372 Dan Nieskern out of Lakeport, New York on a Risky Racer. Okay, they're on the line. There they go! Who's it gonna be? Yeah. 72 is your winner. Let's give them all a big hand when they come back down. Wow, 1462 is way back, right? The champion will be coming back down the middle of the track. And that's number 72, our new champion, Scott Copeland, out of Northwood, New Hampshire in a Wall Audette. Let's give him all a big hand when he comes down. There he comes, 72, your winner. They're on. Yeah, there's a bunch of machines on the line, but we do not know who they are. That must be this one.
Pete, what was that? We walked on each other. Hang on.
111, 13, 55X, 1. This is Mod Stock Dito, class we skipped to make sure that we can get the mod show in. We still have one run after this class. We have another class.
We're here at the New England Championship Grass Drags, and we've got Tony Torello from New Haven, Connecticut. Tony, what kind of machine have you got running here today?
I've got a 1L custom racer from Don Lewis. It's 650 Polaris motor, and I'm going to be running Mod Stock D.
Mod Stock D. What size motor is that?
650 cc's.
I see. How's the machine been running?
It's very temperamental with temperatures like this today. It's kind of warm. We'll soon find out. It's been running pretty well, though.
How long have you been racing, Tony?
I've been racing consecutively about a year and a half now.
I see. What's kind of brought you out here for these races?
Just the love of the sport. That's about it. You know, love racing, love snowmobiles.
How do you think you're going to do today?
I don't know. There's a lot of competition here today. I'll soon find out.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, getting ready for the third heat. 94, Peter Duperry. 59X, Scott Copeland. A29, Roger Fontaine. 1X, Don Anderson. 79, Jim George. Third heat, Mod Stock D Open. And they're on the line. Like I said before, this is the class that we jumped to make sure the mod show got in before dark. We were going back to this class now, and we still have the mod experimental class left. We have already determined our New England Championship winner. This is a, 59X, your winner. 59X, your winner. Scott Copeland on a Polaris. Let's see if we're going to run a Consi now.
Peter, you gonna run a Consi?
All the second place winners? Okay, in a Consi race here. Winner goes to the finals. We have number 15, Ray Segreto out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. Number 111, Ingrid Segriston out of Bloomingdale, New Jersey.
And I started meeting it again this morning, so it'd be hot when I got here. I had 2 big pots and then mixed them in together. Did it all go? It's about a half a pot, so maybe the...
Okay, they're on the line, they're ready to go. Winner goes into the final. And here they go. Looks like your winner 1X, Don Anderson out of Naugatuck, Connecticut on a Polaris.
I think it's time we knocked it off.
165X is James Cooper out of Waterport, New York on an Indy Polaris. 9X is Chad Oliver. He's out of Bristol, Connecticut on an Arctic Cat. That's whatchamacallit's driver.
I don't know.
9X, Chad Oliver.
9X.
Yeah. 59X, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire on a Polaris. 15, Ray Segreto out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Polaris. 1X, Don Anderson out of Naugatuck, Connecticut on a Polaris. 5-machine final here for Mod Stock D Open Class. 165, 9X, 59X, 15, and 1X. And they're ready. And they're gonna getting a little jumpy on the line. There they go. Who's that? And your winner, 59X, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire, out of Polaris.
D open, yeah.
Okay, coming up here, Mod 6 Open Class. 6 entries, 44, 11X, 232. Gus Bond out of Salem, New Hampshire on a Hop Turbo Indy. Bob Van Dusen, Clifton Park, New York on a homemade machine. Skip Vandenberg, Londonville, New York on a homemade machine. And there they go. Remember, this is the open class. Anything goes. And your winner of that class, number 11X, Bob Van Dusen on a homemade special out of Clifton Park, New York. And the second heat, 14-16, John Kluke out of the Flying Frenchman team out of Bristol, Connecticut on a Skidoo. 72, your big winner, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire on a Wall Audette. 1372. Dan Nieskern out of Lake Fork, New York on a Risky Racer. 3 machines. This is Mod X Open. Okay, they're on the line. 3 machines. Winner goes into the finals, experimental class. They're waiting for the starter signal. Hands down. There we go. Oh man, he bounced. He bounced. Son of a bitch is doing a 45. Doing a 45-degree angle bouncing. Your winner again, 72. 72 was your winner. 1372. Then 72, Scott Copeland out of Northwood, New Hampshire was your winner that one. Pete, gonna run a concert here? Okay. Go Rick over there. Okay, there they go. No doubt about that one. 72, your big winner for the afternoon. 72, your big winner of the afternoon. Once again, people, thank you very, very much. Hope to see you again next year. Please drive carefully on the way home.